Hey Mousetrap, welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you for having me.
So earlier just then, before Tato Freestyle by Bass Victim, we played your track X Mox Spot, right? What can you tell us about like your music and like how like you try to make it?
I would say in general, like my like process is I tend to like write all the time, like whenever something comes to me. Sometimes there'll be like a funny time of night, sometimes when I'm on the train, or just like, and I'll have my little like notes app and I'll just like have like train of thoughts, and then like
it's like what comes to your mind.
And like I've always like written, so like lyrically that tends, like the lyrics come first in that way, and then when I go to like write like melodies, then I might like look back upon my like notes and like kind of like pick out what I think works and what I think might just sound silly. And then I kind of like separate that and like write stuff on the spot as well, but yeah.
So would you say you're more lyrics over the beat itself?
I think like I'm always like definitely like vocals, like obviously like I'm like mainly like a vocalist. I think like melodies are so important to me. Like I grew up on a lot of like synth pop, and so I think and then like synths as well is like really important to me, I think. I don't know, so I think they're kind of equal. I feel like lyrics sometimes can just mean nothing, and then sometimes they can mean a lot, and it kind of depends on what like the song calls for.
Did you ever do like music theory when you were younger?
No, I actually didn't study music. Like I didn't even do music GCSE, and I can't really play any instruments. Like, so like now like what I'm making at the moment is involving it's like a digital Omnichord, and that like I found it kind of makes a lot of sense for me, and it's like my perfect like instrument. And then I've been like learning to produce, and like I think like laptop based stuff seems to like make a lot of sense to me, probably because I have no like classic training in music or even singing. Although I did, like I was like my mum made me be in like the choir at school, so I think I learned a lot of like singing through that, and like harmonies and melodies, and like just like it's more like intuitive rather than like I don't actually have any like theory or like understanding in that way. Like I did art,
so what would you say made you want to like start making music then?
I think because music was always like probably the main interest like in my life, like from like a young age. Like my dad's really into music, so he kind of got me into it in that way, and I've always had like a really like broad interest as well, like in lots of different genres. And then I studied art, dabbled a little bit with like I wrote songs when I was like 7 and stuff like that, and then as a teenager dabbled a little bit in writing songs, but I never put anything out. I think the first thing I put out was like I did a track with a friend in like 2019, not like under my name, and then I put stuff out like late 2023 or 2024, I think. So it's more recent. I didn't have a name before. It was literally his name. I would just sort of feature vocals on it, and it was just like a bit of fun, really. And it's like, it's just a bit of just trying it out. And then now I'm more like realizing, like I still make art, and I'm still doing that, but I think like at the moment I'm just doing what feels like really natural to me. And like music was always like kind of like, once I start putting stuff out, I was like, oh, okay, like this now.
Start to like flow more and do it.
I think I just never had the confidence, and I think some of it's like never knowing when something's finished.
Would you say there's like a barrier for like independent artists when it comes to like confidence, especially when you haven't got like someone helping you release it, and you've got to like use stuff like SoundCloud or like Bandcamp for etc. to like, and also just like social media as well to like promote it.
Yeah, I think it can be really daunting. Like, I mean, I think nowadays, like, in a weird way, I suppose it's more open because you can just record something at home, DIY, and then like put it out on SoundCloud, whatever, and whatever happens from that, Whereas like back in like the day, like you'd have to have a label straight away, and like there's a lot less chance. But at the same time, like so many people were doing it, and like there's a lot of like having to promote things on social media can just be really annoying.
Yeah.
And like social media in general can just be really annoying anyway. So it's a bit like the fact everything is so internet, sometimes it does put you off things because you feel like, oh, there's eyes like watching you or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think you just have to be like, let's just do it.
Ignore the insight stats and stuff.
Yeah, and just do it because if you want to do it, like that's kind of how I see it now. I'm just kind of like, I'm just having a laugh.
Do you think there's like a rise in people doing more for the sake of it, or do you think, not that it is, but there's still like some people who are doing it obviously for like the fame and the money rather than for the art itself? Do you think there's like a clash between the two?
I think there's always been that, to be honest. Like, I think it's just like there's always going to be some people that are going to do it for the wrong reasons, but I think as long as the music's good, I kind of don't mind. Like I kind of love like a pop princess diva like that just wants to be famous. I think that's excellent in a way.
So who comes to mind as like inspirations, like not just like when making your music but also like your music videos and other forms of art?
I think like in terms of like music videos, I feel like honestly like from when I was like 12 I was always really into Lana, so I think like I love that sort of like DIY found footage type of thing. Not that I've actually done found footage, but I kind of have been experimenting a bit with like old videos that like my like dad took in my childhood and stuff like that, and like seeing stuff like that. But in terms of like sonically, I would say like probably like I love Princess Chelsea. I think she's amazing, and like Imogen Heap, Current 93 as well.
All right.
Yeah.
How would you describe your journey, as we were talking about, like, was it being an independent artist? How would you like describe it whilst like releasing your music? Would you say it's like a struggle, or just like also like a bit of fun as well?
I think it's very easy to overthink things sometimes, but it's also like if it's what you really enjoy, then it's what you need to do. And like, and yeah, I am having fun in a way, although it's like I am making my art at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's all about just putting it out there because why not, I guess.
Would you say that's like your goal then with everything you do? Just put it out and but like also just like let it do its thing.
Yeah.
Rather than like just stress about who's listening to it or what.
Well, I suppose I'd like to think I don't stress, but there are obviously like moments where you think like, oh, I don't know whether to put this out, or oh, I don't know. But it's, I guess, at the end of the day, it's just like you've got one life, really. Exactly. We live on a floating rock at the end of the day. Why not?
Just do it. That's literally it. Have you ever felt demoitis for any of the music you make or any other artist when it comes to like the demos they may like release as a tune, or they may like, or it's yourself, you make a demo, then you make a proper version of it, then you like think, I prefer the demo over the final product?
Yeah, I mean that's happened loads of times really, where you kind of keep overdoing something, editing it, mixing it to the point of like sometimes you can lose things in it. So I've found that more recently I've been, well, with the song like that I recently put out, the NTS one, that was improv. So like a lot of what I'm doing at the moment, especially with that the Omnichord stuff, is like it's very improv, and I think that works for me, especially as someone with like who hasn't like learned to do things in the right way, and I think my brain just doesn't always work with doing things in the right way. And also a lot of the music that I'm inspired by uses a lot of like improv, and I don't know, I think sometimes there's something really beautiful about something just coming to you in the moment, like situationist, and yeah, I don't know, I'm really into like abstract painting as well, so I suppose that is quite like it's all intuitive. So although I was tending to overdo things and keep on redoing and re-editing, like going back to like demos and stuff, like now I'm trying to be a little bit more like what just feels authentic in the moment. Let me do that, and like try not to overthink it, and get a second opinion if you feel from a friend if you feel like, okay, is this a bit too far? Like, you know.
Would you say like when getting feedback from your friends, you prefer getting it from other creatives rather than someone who's like not experienced, you know, like say like a parent like getting to listen to like your song or whatever?
That's an interesting question. I suppose I don't really know. I feel like either way it can put you off. Like sometimes I think it's helpful, and like constructive criticism's like always really good to like listen to, but I suppose it depends like what it is. Like there's some things that I just won't show anyone, say it's so personal that like I'll put it out, and like maybe even like what it's about won't be known because like you can't really hear the lyrics, or it's so like distorted. Like in those cases I might not show people, like I might not be like, oh, take a look at the lyrics, or like this thing that means so much. Like maybe I'd show something and be like, oh, is the mix like silly?
I guess also it's like, especially if you're like getting from like your friends who are producers as yourself, if they think, oh, you need to change the EQ on this, but you think it's fine, and it's like it comes down more to like opinions on like what suits you best, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, people are only gonna like give you a bit of feedback if they think it's helpful, and I suppose like you can take some of it on, and then if you don't think it's relevant, then you won't use it. But yeah, sometimes it can be helpful if it's like specific, you know. I mean, it's not good to show everyone everything. I think sometimes it's good to just put things out and like have not shown anyone anything.
Yeah, because I was like me at first. It's like if I made like a mix or a song, whatever, it was like I'd show my friend, get his thoughts, and I was like, respectfully, fuck you now, I'm just gonna do it. It's just whatever. Exactly. Taking it back, you spoke about doing something on NTS Radio. What was that exactly?
It's with this really cool Ukrainian label, and I don't want to like butcher the name at all, but I'm sure we can like tag there.
It's like, I've got it down here, I'll spell it out. Oh my god, where is it? No, never mind, I don't have it spelled down. So, oh no, the SHSHCHTS.
Yeah, and then I think like there's like another alternate name, but yeah, I don't want to butcher I don't want to butcher the pronunciation, but yeah, like they're like this like avant-garde sort of noise, dark ambient and like drone label, and I was on like a compilation that they put out. I think we put it out May, 4th of May. Yeah, and they just released it on Bandcamp originally, but like it's now on NTS to listen to Kiev, and yeah, it's really exciting.
What was that like? Just like get the call up to say we want to work with you.
I mean, I believe it was an open call. Like, it was more like I kind of put it forward, like, and then they select like which artists they like want to work with, like which tracks like worked for their mix. And yeah, it was like really nice that my song was chosen, because it's like the first song that I put out where like it was like fully me producing it and everything. So it was really nice. And it, like I wrote it at like quite like as a sort of response to like an interesting sort of situation that happened in my life. And then
And which song was that?
It's called Wolves. Yeah, it's called Wolves, and yeah, you can listen to it either on Bandcamp or on like NTS. Yeah.
How would you describe the song to like someone who hasn't listened to it before?
So I'd say it takes on more of like a sort of like ambient pop, and also like chamber pop, which is like I'm really inspired by like Princess Chelsea, as I said, and yeah, sort of chamber pop, like it's a bit noise, a bit drone as well. Very like distorted, almost like a lullaby, but an eerie kind of lullaby.
So you've been in the scene, you said you go back to like 2023 and a bit beforehand. You've been getting recognised by many, especially in like London, performing at places like the Windmill, Avalon Cafe, and am I correct in saying the George Tavern?
Yeah.
What's been your favourite co-sign so far through like just performing? It's been like really fun. Like, yeah, I'm really glad like all the venues put on like underground artists. It's really nice, and all the promoters that I've worked with have been so nice as well. I feel like I was really proud when I went to Creepy TP. It's this festival in Prague. It's really like really respect that. That was like a really fun thing to do. I really liked playing Club Cheek as well in Brixton. Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I played there a few times.
Was that performing your songs or more DJing?
That was performing my songs,
okay.
Yeah.
Next question. With the song Wolves, what was it like to work on it with using like different production material by yourself? Because you said about, I forget what it was called, it's the
Omnichord.
The Omnichord. What was it like working with them kind of equipment?
Like I think it just makes a lot of sense to me doing the sort of like digital laptop work. I think once I sort of discovered that, like, because Omnichords are really expensive, they're like £700 or something, and I'm just not.
Exactly?
They're like this like. It's like this really old. I think it's sort of like 80s, like Japanese instrument, and it's like you've got like it's like a harp mixed with sort of like a keyboard sound. It's like, it's just really like angelic sounding and like lullaby sounding, and like I feel like every song I've ever heard that uses one I just like so much. So when I realised that I could like access it online, I was like, this is so cool. And then I just run it through my laptop and like add those with effects and distort it. And I've also been using like a lot of like field recordings as well. And like I'm really interested in like construction sounds. I've been taking those of field recordings of like all the construction that's going on outside my house, and then running that through Ableton as well.
Oh, so you use Ableton then?
Yeah.
The safe option. Never use FL Studios, that's all I'll say.
I've never even dabbled, just Ableton, which I'm not exactly a whiz of, but I kind of, there's something quite nice, because I like a lot of like naive music, and there's something quite nice about not fully knowing how to work something, like not fully knowing how to use an instrument or even a software, and just sort of doing and figuring it out as you go along, but also doing it wrong. I think that you discover
learning it as you go along, just like how the software works and learning how to mix, I guess.
Yeah, I think like you find your own sound through the experimentation. And like I really like a lot of like industrial music, like Throbbing Gristle and stuff like that, and like kind of the whole point of that was like they didn't know how to play their instruments, and like they were just experimenting with a lot of like sounds and finding new ways to use things to create like what they felt mirrored like their like life and like society as well.
Where are they from?
So Cozy Fanny Tutti is from Hull. So yeah, like a few of them, it's more like northern.
Oh, right,
yeah. And then like they moved down to like London, it's like in the 70s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anyone you'd like to shout out music-wise, or just like creative in general, who you may have been listening to a lot, or you're just like inspired by?
I think I'll shout out like a couple of friends. I think I really like to shout out Oh Tiny, my friend Levy. She's really cool. She's got a gig this Sunday actually at Spanners, and she uses a lot of like field recordings as well, and synths, and it's more like noise and drone based.
Yeah.
And then I'd really like to shout out Ecstasis as well, my friend Lorelei. Sort of similar, she uses a lot of like tape recordings and it's noise. And also Pig City Committee, I've got a gig with them this Friday in Hackney at Paper Dress Vintage, and yeah, we love them. Really cool post-punk, kind of the Fall inspired.
Right.
Yeah.
And on that note, minus happening on Friday, what else can we see from Mary Mousetrap?
I'm also playing a festival in July in Southampton, where I'm from. It's for my dear friend that passed away. So his friends and family, and like we all come together with his parents as well, and like put on this festival called Life and Death. Right. And we have like a lot of like bands that he liked, that he made music as well. So it's kind of like bands like from that scene and all his friends. And it's all for charity, and that happens every year. Like I played there last year as well. And I've done like art bits there before. It's all for charity. It's really nice. It's for George's Rock Stars.
Nice. Final question. Why should people listen to Mary Mousetrap?
I think listen to it because I think why not? Yeah. If you like any of the people I've mentioned as well, like then maybe you'd like it. Maybe you'd like to try it out.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.